So are we ready for our next panelist? This will be great. So up next, we have Robert Opel. As a special shout out to our Falcon 9 sponsors, Liftoff, providing electric transportation to America's spaceport, offering FSD-equipped Teslas, sharing on Toro, as well as personal EV rentals, e-bikes, e-scooters, one-wheelers, and more. You can go and check them out outside. So, Robert, are you here? Great. Oh, cool, great. Cool. All right, so you got about 20 minutes, and the mic is yours. I'll put it here for you.
So hi, everybody. I'm Robert, and I've been a space fan since 1969 when I was 1 year old, and I was watching a certain flight that happened in '69 on my grandmother's television. And a friend of mine got me this, a little thermos shell might recognize. So I was hooked since then. So where's the clicker thing? This, right, here we go. So I also love nature. How does this work? Ooh, that's backwards. Definitely backwards. So how do we go to the first slide? That's me.
Please hold just for a moment, Robert. We have a little technical difficulty back here.
No worry. All right, so the miracle of flight is something that everybody loves, and I don't know about y'all, but I dream of flying, and those are my favorite dreams, just being able to lift off the ground and go. So in nature, we see all kinds of designs and different ways that flight has been achieved by them, and of course for them it's just natural. We got a bumblebee. Go to the next one. Yeah, bird, this is one from my front yard I shot 2 weeks ago as he was building a nest. So two different designs to get to the skies. And next one, and a dragonfly. So three elegant solutions to lifting off the earth and going where you want. So who in here can tell me what happened on December 17th, 1903? Very significant date. Wright brothers, I knew you'd get that. So these two brothers decided that they wanted to take to the skies, and they had started a bicycle company, and they also were in printing. So they understood mechanics and getting the things to go. Also with bicycles, you got a balance issue. You got to be able to navigate, and the better you can make your bike, the better it's going to go down the road. So for 4 years, these two brothers started working on that. Now that's a glider right there. They had gliding down fine. You could glide off the top of a hill, get down to the end, steer it with your rudder and everything. But to be truly able to fly, they wanted to be able to take off under power, sustain that flight, and then be able to articulate it through the air. And there was a lot of crashes with the gliders, and this is what they came up with. Now, it's important to know that they didn't do it alone. Besides working and crafting the splines and the armatures and everything, they had a mechanic that helped make their bicycles and their workings for the bikes, and his name, who's never been really touted about, is Charles Taylor. He not only made their bikes, but he also made the engine for the wind tunnel for them to test their little glider. Now, there's a tie-in with SpaceX, so just wait for this. When they said, hey, we need to find a motor for this glider so we can fly it, they couldn't find one that would meet the specifications. So he went, you know what? I can do it. So in 6 weeks, Charles Taylor built an engine that met their specifications for not only the weight to power ratio, but lasted, and it did right. I mean, they had to just out of thin air design something. The biggest part that the Wright brothers did, and it's another thing that doesn't go known a lot, is they came up with a 3-point axis steering mechanism, because that was one of the problems of being able to fly. You need to be able to get your pitch and your yaw and all that and be able to articulate it through the sky, which they did on the 17th. But what we didn't know, I didn't know this until I started researching it, on the 14th, 3 days before, Wilbur had won the lucky coin toss, and he flew it the first time, and it crashed and did some damage. Okay, no problem. They fixed it, and 3 days later, we had the first flight. And then they went in and flew it 3 more times that day. And while they were thinking about the 5th flight, a wind gust came along, blew it over, and messed it up to where they couldn't fly it. But again, no worries. They went, let's go back to the drawing board. They made the Wright Flyer 2 and the Wright Flyer 3, and of course, changed our history. Also, fun things that I thought was really interesting, and again, it ties in with space so well. Neil Armstrong, when he went to the moon, in one of the pockets of his spacesuit was a section of the muslin that made the wings of this fabulous little craft, and a piece of the propeller, which the Wright brothers had carved out of wood, so it was, made right. So those went to the moon with Neil and came back, and I think that's really kind of cool. They also were inspired, and inspiration is a big part of anything like what is being done with Tesla, that Elon and the team are doing. Their father's the one that got them on this trail for we want to go in the air. He had brought them when they were children a little helicopter, and it was made of cork and wood and a rubber band, and he brought it in and just, put it out in the air, and off it went into the air, hit the ceiling and bounced down, and of course they played with it endlessly, and later on it inspired them to do this. So if you have children or grandchildren, remember they're gifts. They can inspire greatness. You never know what's going to happen. So I don't know about you, but if I could somehow get a time machine and go back to 1907, I would love to be there watching that thing fly for this first time. And I have the advantage, if I went back, of knowing what happened after that flight. Sometimes when you're in history, you don't see the bigger picture. Elon does, and the whole team does. They see what's going on. I mean, all these Tesla cars, he sees the bigger picture, and I think it's beautiful. If we could get Bob, where's Bob with his time machine? He's probably on a tour. So we got that beautiful Tesla time machine out front. If we could all go back there, that would be cool. But we're in luck because we really don't need a time machine right now because we're in it right now. And my mission today is to get all of you to get in your Teslas, put it in self-drive mode, and head to Boca Chica and go see what I've seen and experience what I've gotten to see before the opportunity is no longer there. Because right now you can go down, stand as close to the rocket as that back wall back there, literally. And time's ticking. Let's see. So that was 120 years ago. The Wright brothers did this. And let's see. So go to the next slide here. That's the diagram. We're going to see another diagram in a minute that's of a different kind of machine, heavier materials. Go to the next one. So I've had the great joy and honor of being to every launch, and there's been miracles that have gotten to me there, and friends that have helped get me there, like I'm here today with my friend April. She got me here. If you can play this one, scroll in to 6 minutes in. This is the first flight. I put my little GoPro out in the dunes. I put it on a timer with a battery, and I caught the first flight from the dunes. Mine wasn't the only camera out there, but I lucked out and it survived because of what you're going to see. So what you're seeing right now is spooling up. It's filled with liquid methane, liquid oxygen, which is also called LOX, L-O-X, if you ever hear that, liquid oxygen. And Goddard is the one who coined that term, LOX. There you go. And here comes the hailstorm of concrete that's going to come our way because it tore a 30-foot hole in the foundation. They didn't expect what it would do Because, hey, this is new ground we're breaking, literally. Yeah, that was good. Sometimes puns come out and you don't know it. So you saw a lot of shrapnel coming at my little camera. Some of my friends' cameras were totally and utterly destroyed by these. Right here. This is straight from SpaceX. This is from Boca Chica. And I want you to come up and see it later on. This is Fondag. And in an effort to make a durable material that would take the stress and strain of 33 Raptor engines and the thrust that they produced, there's metal fragments, shards in here they thought would work, and it didn't. So they went back to the drawing board like the Wright brothers did, and we got a working situation. Here's a flat piece. This was on the surface. And pieces like this, and there was one out there I got to stand on. It was half the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah, it went out. They estimate the speed. It's in my video. You can see it throw out at the left-hand side. They thought it went about 200 miles an hour. This is a piece of concrete, so there are many levels. These are still out there in the field, and if you go, you can find them. All right. Next video. So you think that would be worth going to see? All right, if you go out there, you also get the joy of doing what I do. I'm known as Robert of the Dunes out there because I dress like this, and I got a tent, and I sleep out on the dunes, which is totally permissible. You can take your Tesla Cybertruck, your Model S, your Model 3, put it in camp mode, and sleep in the dunes. Because if you do, a lot of stuff happens at midnight like this. My friends and I got up at midnight, along with Joe. Joe was there. There's such a fellowship out there. You go down and you wait together, and you talk, and you share, and you wait for this. Scroll into 10 minutes in. 10 minutes in. It's a long wait sometimes, but it's worth it, because this is Starship 34, and it's on its way out of what's called the high bay, and it's coming out to the road. It's on, these are called SPMTs, self-propelled multiple transports, and they are amazing. They self-level, and they've got these little electric motors, and it's guided by that little fellow right there in the yellow jacket, and he's got a remote control, and he tells it left, right, forward, reverse, speed up, go slow. And they're taken to the Massey so that you can do a static fire, which I saw in person from 3 miles away. I lucked out. Some friends of mine were a mile away, and next time that's where I'm going to be, a mile away, because you can do that if you go. But the police officer told us, stay on this side, and he said, son, if you can go over there by that sign. So I said, yes, sir, no problem. I went by the sign. I think he helped me to get in the best spot, because where he told me to get, this thing was backing up, but I didn't know that. So I got the best spot in the world. So the SpaceX security guys are awesome, and women. And if you go down there, there's rules that you go by. There's areas where you can and can't go, and just ask somebody that knows. Like, we can be on the right-hand side of the road here, but we can't go over to the left. You see there's 2 SPMTs there, one on the left and one on the right, and they work in tandem. There's a cable that goes between the 2 of them. And then that's what we call the crab, the launch mount. You can see the cross platforms. That's a new thing that they developed. They're all the time developing new stuff, just like the Wright brothers, to get this all done. So there it is. Isn't that cool? I was freaking close, huh? That's why I love being down there so much. You get to be there, right there. And so this is like the second Wright brothers thing. Like the Wright brothers, after they flew their little glider with their motor on it and their propellers, then came the airplane. And now we have 747s. And if you'd told anybody before the Wright brothers flew, one of these days all of you in this room could fit into one metal plane, and it could carry you, your luggage, and maybe even a car or two in the fuselage. I mean, you go, no, it can't be. So right now, Elon, his whole mission is to do this, occupy Mars. And why do we want to go to Mars? We need to get to Mars because we've lucked out for a long time, and no catastrophic event like that happened maybe to the dinosaurs has happened. No asteroids have hit. It'd also be nice to have just another foothold in the universe, because if we're going to be like Star Trek and reach for the stars, it starts with one step, and this is it. And Elon is making it, and we get to be there for it. Okay, so go to the next one, because then it goes down the road, and my friends and I, we walked with that Starship for 5 miles as it went down to Massey's, and we got until it went around the corner. This is a launch. I'm going to tell you where to go when you go down there. You're going to be able to be on the beach free. You don't have to pay anything. There's no permits, no nothing. There's a bunch of Tesla Cybertruck community and Tesla Model 3s, and we haven't had an exit on there yet, so we need an X to come. You can camp out with these guys, Tesla Latino, all these people are down there, and they have campouts, cookouts for us, and we get to just have fellowship. It's just amazing. And then when the launch happens, you have to go somewhere safe. Now there's 5 places to go. Number 1, you can go to Rocket Ranch, which is where I first went. I was given a free ticket by a friend. Then Raptor Roost was another one that I've gone to twice. Amazing. He's got a museum. His name's Keith Reynolds, and he's got a museum in there that has artifacts like what I'm going to show you, but more and better. There's also Isla Blanca, that's on South Padre Island. And that is a great spot to watch it. You're on the other side of the sun. There's Mexico, which I've done 4 times. You can actually go to Mexico and watch it. The advantage of that is when the sun rises this way, it's lighting up the rocket like nobody's business. If it's a 7 o'clock in the morning flight, which I ort up at 4:30 to get there for, totally worth it. Then you can hire a boat. You can go in Isla Blanca, Port Isabel, and you can get on the boats. There's Henry's Charters, there's a number of other ones. And you can watch it from a boat, which is great. Or if you really want to be creative and out of the box, you can hire a helicopter from Redline Helicopters and be in the air when that thing launches, which I'm going to do one of these days, because why not? Okay, so advice. I'm going to give you some advice. If you go and you're going to spend time on the beach in the dunes like I do, you need a hat. That's why I'm wearing this. You need a hat that's going to cover the back of your neck and your ears. You've already got one. You need long sleeve shirt or a jacket, light jacket, because the sun, if you're out there in the sun and you start getting sunburned, then your body's going to try to heal your skin. You're going to lose energy. And then you need long pants. Even if it's hot, long pants. Cover your legs. And boots. I recommend boots because if you're out there in the sand, you're going to get sand in your shoes. It's going to get wet. It's going to feel like sandpaper on your toes, and you're going to be miserable. Okay, how much time do I got? Okay, good. Go to the next one. And this is just some of the shots that you get. I mean, I'm all the time taking pictures out there. And go to the next one. That's my tripod there, the little GoPro. And that's like what I would do to set it up for a shot. So I get up and see every sunrise. Never miss a sunrise out there because you're right there on the beach. The sun rises over the beach, and then you turn around and see that rocket lit up like that. Go to the next one, please. That's a diagram. Like I was telling you, it's just a machine, a fabulously built machine, and now they got a lot more people than one person who happens to work in a bike shop. He's got a lot of people. One of my friends just got hired, and he's working there now. Go to the next one. That's it getting stacked. You get to be there. I was sitting right there watching this real time, and it's amazing because it gets lifted up in the air and stacked on top of the booster. Next one, please. And there's your engines, your Raptor, and there's 3 in the middle and 3 on the outside. And the next one. Oh, and the motors that actuate those flaps, guess what kind of motors drive those things? They're Teslas, yeah. So, and that's a man for scale up there. There's women up there too, and I try to capture them when they're up there so you can kind of go, whoa, that's big, because that's right there at the arm. Next one, please. Another picture of the launch. That's from Mexico. And the next one. That's takeoff. That's also from Mexico. The rumble is, you can't duplicate it on any video. You have to be there for it. You feel it in your chest and in your heart. Next one. And I will tell you that when you're there for a real launch, that's one of my best friends. It was his goal to make it down there. He says, Robert, if you want to go to another one, I'm going to drive you because I want to be there. And so We did. That's me in my tent. Bring a tent. That's my hat, which is, by the way, my father-in-law's hat, who passed away, and he's the reason I'm here anyway, because he told me about Tesla and he told me about SpaceX in the first place back in 2019. He said, you got to go down to the beach. There's this little thing called SpaceX. So we did, and I found my calling. So next one. That's some friends. Ron Parker, he hunts heat tiles. He took me to Mexico. We went 5 hours down to Mexico, and he found 20 heat tiles. Okay, next one. And that is Freeman and his cat, Velcro. All right, I'm going to show you some things before my time runs up here. So one of the holy grails down there, and Joe's one of the first persons that found one of these after Flight 1, wasn't it? Yeah, number 1. Came up and so he posted it, and I was like, ooh, I want one too. Heat tile. All right. Now this is cool. It's broken, but you know what? I'm okay with that because look what I get to see. This is how they attach it. They're trying to get these things to stay on, and they come up with different ways. They glue some of them on. These have clips. The clips are pressed into the side, and then there's these openings. And my friend of mine has the clip. He was given but one where it goes in and clicks in place. So far so good. Okay. So, but the Holy Grail is a whole one that's intact. It's not broken. And there it is. Now, I have a young man named Noah to thank for this because my friend Noah, he came along and I was taking pictures, and this is, again, what you'll encounter. This is why I want you to go, because when you go down there, you meet people, and these people make your time there more special, like Joe. I mean, we've had numerous conversations. I have like literally over 100 people that are friends of mine down there, dear friends, and it would take me a long time to list them all. But Noah, he comes up and he's like, hey, could you help me maybe find a heat tile? Have you ever found one? And I had a sample, a small one that I'd found, and I was happy with that. I hadn't found that one, and I hadn't found this one. I just had a small one. I said, yeah, I found one. Here, look at that. And he was like, whoa, where'd you find that? You think you could show me? I was like, yeah, of course I can. So we went hiking, and he says, along the way, he was like, Robert, I really want to find a whole heat tile. And I was like, well, we will find one for you. And somehow when I said it, I knew the angels were listening because we found him one, a whole one, a perfect, octagonal one. And then he turns to me and says, we got to find you one now. And I was like, okay, we will. And poof, here it is. So, and this one's special because it's got the X on there. When the SpaceX people figure out it's okay, it's passed inspection, they put an X on there. It's also got the date, April 18th, 2024, and it's got a tested stamp. So this has got all three of the things you could ever hope for in one, and added bonus, blue glue, which I'm leaving on there. Okay, a few more things. You'll also find these when you go out in the dunes and the flats. There's all kinds of stuff that gets blown off the launch platform. There's lockout tags from the cantenaries and the walkways. There's also these. I love this one because when I found it, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. This is from Kennedy Wire and Rope. And it says, ship to Space Exploration Technologies Corporation. And that was the first moment that I realized SpaceX. Well, wait a minute, SpaceX comes from space exploration? Of course. It was kind of an aha moment for me. So I have 2 tags from that. They have all these truckers that come in all the time, and they're always loading off of their gas tanks helium and nitrogen and LOX and methane. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool to have one of those things that they sign off on when they've done their load? And wouldn't you know it? There it is. I got it. This was a load of helium, compressed helium. So there you go. These get blown up in the launch. Am I done? Okay. Last 2 things. So I paint when I go down there every time. This is from launch 1 when they were stacking it. So there you go. Any questions? Please come. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, please. Yeah, come by and see them. So please just come and experience this. I figure you got maybe 1 to 2 years. Okay.
Let's get a hand for Robert. Isn't that fascinating? That's incredible. I want to hang out with that guy. You're like an artist and an adventurer. It's incredible. And like, you sure you didn't steal this off some trucks or something? Like some of this stuff? Some of this stuff looks legit.